You know, each year I come to this day, the day that I take my first walk in the mountains when it feels like spring. It's, in fact, just a few days into spring. But, and it's always a nice thing. I look forward to it. Truth be told, I'm weak. I haven't been hiking or exercising the way I usually do in the warmer months, and I'm a little bit worse for wear. And that's the topic of this video, actually. Maybe I'll call it worse for wear. But I don't mean it to be a downer or a bummer or anything like that. Just stating facts. Every year at this time, I note the change, not only in everything around me, which really only changes in terms of a new layer. It's the same thing. It's the same budding bits of hints of spring here and there, little bits of touch of little blooms. It's just early February still. Little blooms, little plum blossoms just starting to come out. Changes in the color of the bamboo. A certain definite feeling in terms of the change in the atmosphere and warmth. The desperate cold has passed. Well, so-called desperate cold for this area. I don't have to wear my heavy jacket. But for the most part, it's a veneer that is washed away every year. Comes back anew, but with new players, new characters, new flowers, new blooms, new late canopy of leaves in the bottom, new canopy of leaves above, and the bamboo. All that stuff is new. It's a very curious play that runs out. But the one thing that does stay the same, at least for another, hopefully another couple of decades, is in terms of one man's perspective, is that I'm still here. Each of you have your own performance that you renew every year in that same capacity, as long as you're living. I was reading yesterday about the survey done by the United Nations about longevity, and they cited an interesting statistic. The survey was about average lifespans throughout the world, and the average for the world. And the interesting statistic that they were, or a sub-statistic that they were noting, was the years of healthy life. So you can live to be 70, maybe the average lifestyle is 75 years old in certain countries. Sadly, not even close to that in many countries, but maybe that's the case. But only a percentage of that will be the healthy years of life, the years before disease and bodily wearing sets in. And a tree. I'm thinking about that now because, boy oh boy, it's wearing out. I really feel it. Hopefully another week or so of walking like this. Look at that bathtub. How'd you like to take a bath there? Another week or so of exercise will get me back in shape. In the meantime, I feel a bit like this shed. Certainly that shed has seen better days. Certainly it was a pride and joy of someone's creative eye, someone who put that thing together, fabricated it, stocked it with their good stuff, the farmer that did all this, and stood back, arms akimbo, and stared with great pride, and it served its purpose well, protecting the goods within. Now those goods are the worse for wear. Hardly protected at all anymore. And we are like that. We have a shelf life. We have a certain capacity to support, and a certain capacity for wear and tear. And when those limits are reached, we begin to decay. Our walls begin to fall in. Our roof begins to collapse. The beams here will begin to rot away, and eventually it will collapse in. The contents will be covered in a heap, and eventually those will go away, except that plastic thing. You get the drift. I don't mean this to be a bummer video. Not at all. In fact, I'm going to now attempt to change it into something better than that. We are, as I said, in the first blush of spring. I'm taking one of my first walks of the spring 2011, admiring the things around me, looking at the sights. I'm accosted with ruin all around. I see it everywhere here in this road. Like I said, nobody comes here. This is a large unused road. It's a dead end. And however, I know that this little road here will soon be a paradise. It will be my own little paradise because nobody comes here. I'll walk up here. It'll be a dripping soon in the wet of the rainy season. Green will begin to become paler and more lush. The sounds of the forest will begin to emerge. Animals will appear. There will be dripping rivulets of water coming from the sides of the hills. This little stream down there that's absolutely quiet right now will begin to gurgle. Frogs will begin to croak, and a chorus of sounds will emerge. The dragonflies will appear in the buzz of their wings. I'll hear the cicadas eventually as summer approaches. And then we'll have the giant spiders out, and then I'll see crashing animals moving through the forest periodically, tanuki and maybe wild boar if I'm lucky and whatnot. And all of this ruin that you see all about me, this shed, all of the things over here, all this brown, all this stuff will be covered in green, and it will not replace the ruin. The ruin will still be back there waiting for its turn as well, but it will basically take center stage. The green will take the center stage. The life will take center stage. And so too with us. I will continue to decay. I can get myself back in shape for this season, but I will decay, and I will continue every year that I come up here, or wherever I am. I will be a little worse for wear, and I will be gone soon enough. And others will come back. So there will be other people who will walk this stretch, and will discover it anew. And that's all good, and that's fine, because it's time to share. It's time for this to be others. So with that in mind, I need to enjoy instead of mulling over the decay, I need to rally effort around, rally joy around the capacities that I do have. This shed, although decayed and still falling to pieces, is still standing, and still has some capacity left, as do I, as do you, as do all of us in some way or another. Even if we can't walk, we have a way to demonstrate something. I used to work in a convalescent home, and there was a man there who was paralyzed in a motorcycle accident, and his family would come see him, and he had the greatest spirit and attitude, and he taught us all, even though he couldn't move, even though his body was in ruins, he taught us all. And I talked to him every day, and his family came to see him. He taught us all that there was some brilliance and joy to be found in life as long as one had a mind to do so, and he did have a mind to do so, and he appreciated that he had lost almost everything in the motorcycle accident, but he appreciated that he still had his mental capacity and his ability to think, and some life left in him in that way. And he taught us all of that. So even if I'm decaying, even though this force is decaying, even though if you may be decaying, as we all are, it doesn't mean that we're run dry. You can still make an effort. And I think that for me, my effort is going to now take me up there. Doesn't that look intriguing? I'm going to go find out what's up there. I hope you have a great day finding whatever is up wherever you are. And don't let the brown and the ruin discourage you. Spring's almost here.